Whatever the occasion, effortless elegance is right this way. Because Hilton brings you new ways to stay courtesy of the Nomad London. And it doesn't stop at award-winning dining in a space draped in velvet and illuminated by vintage chandeliers. No, this day goes beyond with unparalleled personalized service and attentive hospitality. Oh, and did we mention the Nomad London can be booked using your Hilton Honors points at Hilton.com? Hilton, for the stay.
This episode is brought to you by Indeed. When your computer breaks, you don't wait for it to magically start working again. You fix the problem. So why wait to hire the people your company desperately needs? Use Indeed's sponsored jobs to hire top talent fast. And even better, you only pay for results. There's no need to wait. Speed up your hiring with a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. I don't know if you knew this, but anyone can get the same premium wireless for $15 a month plan that I've been enjoying. It's not just for celebrities. So do like I did and have one of your assistants switch you to Mint Mobile today. I'm told it's super easy to do at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. Intro rate first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See full terms at mintmobile.com.
From the Fifth Quarter Studios in Madison, Wisconsin, you're listening to Coach Unplugged. And now, your host, Steve Collins.
Hey everybody, welcome to Coach Unplugged. So excited you decided to join us today. Before I jump into the podcast, go over and leave a 5-star review. We really love those reviews. Leave some comments. I read all of them and we would really appreciate that. But before we get started, I would definitely want to give a big shout out to our two sponsors. First of all, Dr. Dish, the #1 shooting machine on the market, bar none. Mention Coach Unplugged, you get $450 off and you'll get the best customer service you'll ever expect. Just mention Coach Collins and they'll take really good care of you. Also, go over and check out teachhoops.com for coaches who want to get better. It is the one-stop shop for basketball coaches. It's something, when I started teachhoops.com, it was what I would have wanted as a young coach before, all the state championships and all the nationally ranked teams that I've coached. And not to brag, just to kind of tell kind of my journey, I would have killed for this stuff because it would have made my life so much easier. A little bit of everything that you need to become a better basketball coach. And we are the only people out there that offer 14-day free trial because we believe in it so much. Follow the roadmap, work on your craft, and you get me one-on-one mentoring. So I can't imagine anything better than that. I don't know. Anyway, go over and check it out and let's head off to the podcast. So today's topic is how to create good shots. All right. What's your thoughts on this, Coach?
I think the best way to create good shots, the easiest way is to get out and run in transition. I think you get the highest percentage shots if you're getting out and you're beating the other team down the floor. I think that's the first place to start, is getting out and running in transition.
The math teacher here is going to tell you that the first 7 seconds of the time that you've had the ball, the first 7 seconds is going to be the best opportunity to get an open shot. I've looked at the analytics on that. So, but you got to be willing to take those shot threes in transition. You got to be willing to attack the rim. You got to be willing to do some of those things. So I agree. So how do you deal with your teams in terms of what is a good shot and what is not a good shot? How do you talk about that? Because we have a whole scale and we dive pretty deep into that.
Yeah, we very much we put a premium on specific types of shots. At the level that I'm at, so I'm currently coaching middle school basketball, and we put a high premium on any catch and shoot jump shots and anything. We want to get to the rim and we want to get to the free throw line. It's kind of the premiums that we have for our kids. And then if we have a mismatch in the post, or if we have a matchup that we want to exploit somewhere, either on the perimeter or in the post, we make sure that we take advantage of that.
I think the hard part is a good shot for you and a good shot for me might be different things.
Yeah, I definitely agree.
So I think it's a conversational discussion to have that your good shot might be an open 12-footer and
Yep.
my good shot might be anything from 15, 17 feet, even contested. That might be a good shot for me because I'm going to make it more than you're going to make it or whatever it is. So I think, and the hard part with that is sometimes you need data to be able to have those conversations about what is a good shot and what is not a good shot.
Yeah, and we could get into like, points per possession and like what shot gives you the most value based on math. But the way that I kind of communicate it with my players is this shot within your range? Are you open and are you on balance? Those are the three things.
So let's cut those down. So the first one was,
so we call it a rob shot. So
Yep.
you're in range, you're within your range, you're open, and you're on balance. That type of shot we are always going to take. So it's just a way for me to cue my players on.
I love
that. That's a shot that you need to take.
Right. So Rob, so range, what was the O? Open, and then B was balance. Now, you can take not balanced shots that are good shots, in my opinion. I think the game has changed in that aspect a little bit, but I think that's a great mnemonic as far as here's what you got to do. Are you open? And I think that's where the hardest part is. I think most kids know what open is.
Yep.
I think most kids know what balance is. I don't necessarily think all kids know what their range is.
Yeah.
I mean, at least from coaching for a long time, I think kids sometimes think their range is better than their range.
The self-perception might be
self-perception. Yes, is and again, we'll do is we'll give them we'll say we set different standards, but it's like you want to shoot threes, then you should be able to hit 6 out of 10 in an empty gym.
Yep.
So let's go get your pass. We'll do it after practice. You show me you can make 6 out of 10 a couple times in a row, and then then you can take a shot, a three, and that's in your range. But if you can't do that, no defense, open, good pass, you should be able to make 6 out of 10 for a high school boy. You should be able to do that. So but you decide what that is, but that's where those discussions and those, like, here's what I expect from you and here's what you got to be able to do. I think but I love that mnemonic. I hadn't heard that in a long time. I had heard it, but not recently, about range, open, and balance. I like that.
Yeah.
And it's simple. It falls into my whole theory of rule of three. We can only remember 3 things, and those are the 3 things that they can definitely remember. What else, Coach? Anything else with shots or range or how to create good shots?
Yeah. So how we kind of go about creating any good shots is we're going to do any kind of simple action. So we're going to run either a dribble handoff, or we're going to get a pick and roll, or we're going to run some type of specific action to create that advantage, and then we're going to keep that advantage from there. And then the first available open shot, we call them great shots. So the first great shot we get, we're going to take. And then based on if there's time, once you get to a certain, so in Minnesota, we have the shot clock. When we get to a certain time on the shot clock, then we're going to take the first available good shot rather than wait for a great shot.
And do you find that shot clock coming into play? And do you find panic down the stretch in the last 7 seconds of the shot clock?
Not with my players. With my players specifically, we don't have that shot clock.
Have you watched at the high school level? What have you?
Yeah. So at the high school level, what we do with our varsity is we have like a phrase that we'll yell out where like, this is the amount of time on the clock, and we are going to take the first good shot, whether that's a semi-contested 3 or maybe a more heavily contested layup, or maybe a less valuable like mid-range jump shot.
Right. No, I like that. I like that idea. That makes sense. That you basically, you have to be able to get the balance. How do you practice that? How do you practice these? Like, how do you rep this so they learn it during practice?
Yep. So a lot of our practices, we use small-sided games. So we do an activity called 3v3 back tap. So we'll have a coach, and then the defender is standing in front of the coach, and we'll have a player dribble around the back side of the coach, and we'll tap that player on the back. So, that's what the advantage already created. So we're either simulating having that advantage, or
Right.
we will. The way we create that advantage is through some type of action. So we'll practice our pick and rolls, and we'll practice either our dribble handoffs, and what we kind of do out of those is how we'll set that up in practice.
Right.
So like we will continually rep through the action that we want, and typically we're coming down in transition.
How do you rep the transition stuff? How do you rep getting the ball out and going, or don't you?
So we will, depending on what drill we have set up, we'll have different drills. But if we're just in transition, what we like to do is we like to get it to our guards. If we can get it up the floor and someone's behind the defense, we'll throw it up ahead. But if we're specifically working on creating an advantage, we will have our players start kind of behind half court, and they're running across. And then based on what we're seeing there,
right,
we're going to either go into some type of chin action, or we're going to go into some type of pick and roll. And that's how we kind of generate that domino effect.
Yeah. I like that. And you got to teach them how to get the ball up and out. I mean, they won't do it if you don't teach them how to get it up and out.
Yeah, we typically preach early and opposite. So we like to get the ball out early, and we like to get it opposite.
And I always talk about peek at the basket, get the ball, look up. You should always look at the basket that you're going to shoot at, because if you even 80 feet away from the basket, peek. Because if you look up and poof, you can go.
You can see it.
Yeah, you can see it, and you'll see that people are open. All right. Anything else, Coach?
Nope.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody. I hope you enjoy it. Make sure you subscribe. We would really appreciate that. Apple, Spotify, wherever you listen. Those 5-star reviews mean a ton to us. Also, go over and check out teachhoops.com for coaches who want to get better. Have a great day.
This podcast is part of the Sports Social Podcast Network.
Memorial Day doorbuster deals are here at Lowe's. Right now, Rewards members save $80 on the Master Forge 4-burner gas grill, now just $149. Plus, Rewards members save $900 on the Lowe's exclusive Hisense French door refrigerator, now only $999. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 5/26. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. See Lowe's.com for more details. Program subject to terms and conditions. Details at Lowe's.com/terms. Subject to change.